interested in this kind of thing, in fire department and things like that?
My dad was in the fire department, West Pelzer, so I kind of grew up around it, going with him. You know, I was probably about that high. I kind of decided it was in my blood and wanted to do it. So.
Played with fire trucks?
Oh yeah, play with fire trucks, and you know, said I wanted, you know, to get into it and do that kind of stuff, and you know, I got on the fire department in '96 at West Pelzer, so started volunteering over there as a junior.
Tell people that don't know what a junior fire.
So in Anderson County, you can join the fire department as a junior, and you can do you know, a handful of things. Obviously, you can't go in and fight a fire, but to get your foot in the door here at District 1, you know, we have the Career Center. Actually, just got a new fire instructor supposed to start the next school year. He come from Gant, Justin, pretty good guy. He started his career at Piedmont, but you can, you know, get involved and then start getting your classes through the Career Center, and you get your classes. And we've had a handful of guys when I was at West Pelzer. They come right out and go to work. Gant, South Greenville, Anderson City, a handful of them at Anderson City now, you know, come from that program. But here at Williamston, we have a explorer post. It's a little bit different. They can do about the same things. It just kind of boils down to the insurance, you know, who's covering them on the insurance. And I know like the sheriff's department has explorer post, and you know, in that kind of thing. So we have 2 active explorers here at Williamston.
They come in pretty ready? These kids come in?
Oh yes, yeah. So that's something I know. You know, I've only been here a week as of yesterday. So but I know that's something we want to get into the high schools and the middle schools and try to recruit some of these guys, because that kept me out of trouble when I was in, you know, when I was in school. Every day when I got out, I went to the fire department and was doing something up there. And if you wasn't doing nothing back then, I mean, you didn't play on the video games and, you know, watch TV and all that. You was out there checking trucks or cleaning trucks or doing something, polishing. So.
Well, you've been doing this a long time. What kind of changes have you seen since you started?
Obviously, that's one of them with the, you know, with the kids coming up.
Yep.
Building construction is another one. Obviously, that's changed the way they, you know, building houses and all that these days. A lot of the rules and regulations that we have to follow, you know, by NFPA is obviously years ago they didn't do that, you know, which, you know, that puts a damper on our budget because, you know, we're having to follow all this stuff and we're regulated to that, so we have to follow that to make sure we're compliant.
And it seems to me that things are changing in that. One time the county was small enough that all volunteers could protect it, but people are going to have to get used to paying for fire protection like they do police protection if they really want to be covered, right?
Oh yes, most definitely. Anderson County is, I don't think the citizens understand that, you know, what the guys go through. I mean, going for me, you know, the volunteers are dwindling down. They're trying to find incentive programs to keep them going. I mean, it's getting harder and harder to get a volunteer, but you're going to burn out the 5 or 6 at each station that you have that comes every call. And I mean, I know it's hard to work a 40-hour week, and then you know, you get into bed 10, 11 o'clock, and then you have a call at 1 or 2, and then you're up 4 hours, and then go to work the next day. Same thing the next night, have another call. I don't know of too many citizens that wanted to say, well, I want to do that. Like, you know, I go work in a plant, but when I get off, I'm going to stay up all night and fight a fire. I mean, it has to be in your blood that you want to do that and give back to the community.
And y'all get a lot of calls that aren't even about fires, don't you?
Oh yeah, I just just had to help. Pelzer ran a call right up the street for a fall, and I first responded because Medshore was out of the district. So
people don't realize everything that's involved in that. And just
Nope.
how much time does it take just to do the keeping up the trucks and the equipment and maintenance and all? How much time consuming is that? How time consuming is that?
That's. I mean, you gotta make sure your equipment's ready to go anytime. So running your equipment, checking your equipment. Just as a homeowner, think about your saw that you have in your building. I mean, you pull it out, you got to cut a tree. You trying to crank it like 300 times, it's not cranking. When we pull this equipment out, we want it to crank the first time. You want it to, because it's life or death. You need that equipment working. So, we checking the trucks every day, making sure everything's top notch, in service, running the pump, all that kind of stuff.
And how many guys do you have that come out of this department?
There's about 28 out of this department. As of a week ago, I'm the current and the only paid fire chief as of now. Maybe let me reword that. Let's see.
I think you're the first paid fire chief in Williamston.
Yeah. As of last week, I'm the first paid fire chief of Williamston, and we're trying to narrow it down. I think it's 6th or 7th. Either I'm the 6th chief or the 7th chief. I know like every chief that serves, they've served years and years and years. So.
You were telling me you grew up in this community.
I did.
Did you ever think about you might be fire chief in Williamston one day?
I did not. I had a goal to be a fire chief at West Pelzer years ago. Let's see. I made a couple notes because I can't remember years, but in 2000, let me back up. In 1999, I joined the Anderson County Fire as a dispatcher. So I was volunteering in West Pelzer, and then, I joined over there, and started working. I worked there till 2000, and I left and went to work at East Simpsonville Fire Department as a firefighter. I wound up, going through the ranks, moving up. I was an engineer, a lieutenant, shift officer. I ended up in 2009. In 2009, I become fire marshal captain. So I served as second in command in the absence of the fire chief. In 2010, I wound up. In 2010, I served as the assistant chief. And then later in 2012, I moved up to the fire chief, and I served to 2018. And then I had left East Simpsonville, which is formerly known as Clear Spring, went to work for Motorola, and it had been 2 years since I've been gone out of the fire service paid, so it was too much trying to manage a volunteer fire department and work, in the field working on radios or doing whatever. So I stepped down as the chief to a lieutenant, which I'm still a lieutenant over there. And so I stepped down and still serve as a lieutenant. And obviously this job come open, and I wanted to be home, near my community and give back to my community, and so I was able to financially make it work with my wife, and so I have a wife, 2 kids, a 3-month-old and a 6-year-old. So that keeps me busy, along with both fire departments and everything I do in both towns. So.
Well, having grown up around here, you were just telling me you got lots of friends that are still here. I guess they're glad to have you back here as fire chief.
A lot of them's reached out to me, congratulating me. Matter of fact, Mayor Burgess, when they made the post, he told me, he was like, "You're a popular little guy," and I was like, "Well, a lot of people like me." I was like, "I have a lot of friends and a lot of connections that we can pull on for resources and for things like that we need."
And you're friends with, you were telling me you're friends with the mayor of West Pelzer.
Yep. Mayor Sanders, me and him is best friends. So a good guy, really good guy.
What can people do in Williamston now? You're the new chief. This is your chance to tell them something. What can they do to help you and your guys do a better job here in Williamston Fire Department?
Well, I can tell you a couple things that we have going on that I know about. Obviously, there's some stuff that we want to change down the road. Like I say, I've only been here a week. We do have a can program. You know, if you drink soda cans, stuff like that, the money goes to the Burn Foundation. So we have a trailer here, and then there's one up just past Hardee's on the right. We collect the cans, we take it, and then send the money to the Burn Foundation. You know, if you're interested in volunteering, you know, come down here and talk to us. If you have a kid in high school or middle school that don't know what they want to do, but you know they may want to give back to the community at some point, come talk to us. I guess we have two big events. We just had one event. The 4th of July was a big car show we do, but the other ones are Spring Water Festival. Really large event, car show that we do. So we do the car show, and then everything else is going on in the park, bands and crafts and arts and all that kind of stuff. Carnival, food trucks, but fire truck rides. I know this year's something new that I brought to the table. We're going to do a Dunkin' booth. So I've actually talked to Mayor Burgess and Mayor Sanders, and they're going to get in the booth. So I think that'll be good. I'm going to get in the booth. I got some members to get in there, so I think that'll be cool. I haven't got to speak with them, but some of the local principals at the middle and high school, I think that'll be cool for some of the students to come out and try to dunk their principal or whatever. So.
You mentioned if somebody might be interested, how long would, we're talking about an adult here, how long would they have to train before they could actually come in and be of help to y'all?
Well, they have, you got to get your, a handful of classes. I mean, you got Auto X, you got 1152, Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2,
where do they take those at? I mean, how do they take
So
those?
Anderson County Training Facility does some. You know, obviously, I wasn't able to do this. You know, when I was growing up, I had to take mine every Monday and Wednesday night at the training facility in Anderson. But you know, if you're able to, and you could go to Columbia and do the you know, the recruit class. When you come out of there, you'll have everything you need. You know, that's like you're going to the police academy, but it's going to the fire academy. You go down there for, you know, so many weeks, and when you come out, you have everything. But most of the time around here, everybody's after work. It's in the evenings, 2 nights a week. You're taking a class, some Saturdays. So you know, there's a lot of training that's put in. People don't know about, you know, behind the scenes. Obviously, you know, I have a handful of classes, but you know, everybody's still learning. You know, you're still taking classes and going to training and stuff like that.
And if somebody is watching this and is one of the few people who doesn't already know you, seems like everybody's already met you, knows you, what's the best way for them to get in touch or to find out more about what y'all are doing here?
You can, obviously you can stop by here. You can call Town Hall. They can get a hold of me, or shoot me an email at wfdchief@williamstonsc.us, or give me a phone call at 864-304-5660. It's my cell number.
Y'all use this truck for a lot of things. Tell me a little bit about that and tell me a bit about the history of it.
So we use it for parades, the July 4th parade that we do, ride the kids in it. It's like $1 a ride for them to ride in it. We do it at the Spring Water Festival, and then we ride Santa Claus on it, actually in the West Pelzer and the Williamston parade. The money that we get for it goes back into the truck. We put it in an account. I think it was last year, they just put an engine in it, so we're all the time having to you know, do upkeep on it. But the history of this truck, when this truck come to the town, It come in on a train. There was 2 of these trucks. This truck and one just like this truck that went to Easley Fire Department. So, like I say, it just come right over there on the train tracks. And that's how it was delivered to the town.
How long ago was that, you know?
It was 1936.
Have you driven it?
No, I told them they want me to learn to drive it. I told them I do not want to learn to drive it till after the Spring Water Festival. Because if I mess something up, they're like, well, the new chief tore the truck up.